Alrighty boys, welcome back to another step-by-step video. Now today's video is going to be on mute. Now the important thing when it comes to mute that you guys got to understand is that when you are playing mute, it's highly recommended to run the shotgun with the SMG-11 combo. Now honestly, I do think there is a world where the MP5K is like worth using, but I do think that that world doesn't really happen that often, if that makes sense, because what ends up happening a lot of the times is that when you're playing solo queue or you're playing with a stack, a lot of the times people aren't going to bring stuff to like set up the bomb site, you know what I mean? So I do feel like running the shotgun plus SMG-11 combo is going to be your best bet in the general sense. Now what we're going to be doing here in this first clip, guys, is we're focusing mostly on making those rotates like I was talking about earlier using the shotgun. It's very important. And one thing I want to mention here is that I'm putting a mute jammer on the jacuzzi wall. And the reason why I'm doing that is because since my bandit lagged out of this game, I'm going to have to put a mute jammer there because otherwise we're not going to have any type of utility to actually stop the enemy team from actually opening up that wall. So that's the main reason why I'm doing that. However, if my bandit didn't lag out, I would have just like kept that mute jammer in pocket and might have put it somewhere else that could have been more useful. And typically when you're playing mute and you have those mute jammers, you want to be placing them in places that are going to have value. And what I mean by value is that where it's going to hit directly to utility for the enemy team. So usually what that applies to is drones is the main thing they're going to be watching out for. Right here, Nomad's going to go ahead and walk up main. Now, the reason why I was floating around main right there is because since one of my teammates did lag out, I'm going to have to pay attention to main as being like the alternate like gap basically for the enemy team. Now, a lot of people go for Logi on this map, which is usually where I play, but since one of my teammates did lag out, that means that the teammate that, for my stack at least, we usually have that person that lagged out play inside a bedroom. So that's why I'm hovering around main to make sure there's no potential gap play. And a gap is just when there is like a space where the enemy team can just like walk up for free without any contest. So I filled that void to basically deny them. And then right here, they're going to open up the jacuzzi wall. I'm getting audio for it, so I'm going to go ahead and play aggressively and get myself a free kill on the Nomad that one of my teammates called out that was on the wall here. There actually is one more guy on this wall. What's going to end up happening is that one of my other teammates is going to come around and he's going to actually ego challenge to breach. The last guy is on the breach, by the way, in this position. He's on the far left. You're going to see right here, my Valk is going to walk up. He's going to swing aggressively. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to get the kill, but that's okay because as long as he's able to walk away in this position, my teammate can go res. And then since I'm holding the breach actively on this pixel angle, when this ace looks to try to go finish the kill, we're going to be able to swing, or not swing, but just be able to just get a free kill onto him because he's going to walk right into my angle. I'm going to take a couple shots and get myself a free kill to secure the round right there. Now, the other thing I want to quickly talk about is that, yes, while I do think the MP5K could be good on mute, I do think that the SMG-11 is just vastly more superior, and the reason why is because of the rate of fire as well as the damage. The damage plus rate of fire makes it, like, way better than the MP5K in my eyes, at least. It does have lower bullets, if that makes sense, like in bullets in the magazine, so technically, in that regard, you're not going to be able to take multiple gunfights. However, I do still think there is a world where you could run the MP5K if you're planning on taking a lot of gunfights at once, which does tend to happen quite often with mute, actually. But I do think, like, having the shotgun and being able to make the rotates and whatnot is just a lot more better, and then just, like, sucking up to the fact that you're going to have to get good with the SMG-11. Now, during this game and Chalet here, we're doing a kitchen setup where we're pretty much holding up for vert, but we're also setting up the kitchen bomb site as well. Now, one thing I like to do at the beginning of the round always, whenever I'm on the kitchen bomb site, is I look out for anybody who repels up to the big window, because as you guys can see, I'm holding my nitro pre-rip to my hand here. The reason why I'm doing this is because if anyone goes up and punches this window, or sometimes what tends to happen is people will toss a ram through the window, you can basically toss your nitro cell to get yourself a free kill. Now, for context, these guys aren't even going to bother pushing the big window, so we're going to go ahead and just rotate back towards solar in this position. And the idea here is that I'm looking to make sure I can deny the bathroom window hopping in particular. We're going to go ahead and shoot a drone here so we know there's at least one guy out there. I'm doing this little punch hole here for K9. It's actually a nice little alternate angle you guys can use to see K9 door if you have like rotate holes or crouch holes in the wall right there for master/office. Now, one thing that actually ended up happening here is that one of my teammates actually got knifed inside of sight, so I have to drop down solo here to look towards West Main to potentially look to retake the bomb site in this position. Now, I do end up catching a Twitch that was running in for West Main, but there is going to be a Brava that's also playing inside a kitchen in this position that did get the knife originally. I'm going to swing the head holes for kitchen here. I'm going to end up lighting him up. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get the kill here. So what I have to do in this position is we have to retake the site, or else we're going to lose in this position. So I'm going to walk through kitchen in this position. Luckily, my dock is actually going to end up injuring this Brava on the half wall right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just swing around and get myself a free kill. And then at this point, since it's a 2v2 position, the very likelihood push that the enemy team is going to go for at this point, since there's only about 40 seconds left, is going to be they're going to push 45, which is the hallway that's right next to me, and West Main, which is going to be the windows where the Brava originally entered from, where he actually got the knife off for my teammate. And then right here, basically what's going to end up happening, there's going to be a ram that's going to try to walk through 45 here. Now, I am holding this very aggressive angle here over the desk right here because it's very hard to challenge from the ram's perspective, so I'm going to be able to get myself a free kill. And then the last guy, feeling pressured for time, is going to jump in for West Main, but we're going to swing aggressively to get another free kill into him and secure the round. Next up, we're going to be on Oregon basement here, and with this Oregon basement bomb site, you always want to try to put mute jammers inside of elbow, which is going to be this little 90 section here that I'm putting my mute jammers currently. And the reason why you do that is because a lot of people tend to put a shield for elbow, and the idea is that the enemy players are going to most likely bring a Flores, so you have the mute jammers to counter that. That's going to be your general idea. Next, we're gonna go ahead and put one on tarps. Now, I used to put one on these reinforced double walls here because way back in the day in comp, what people would do is they would open up the hatch and then they would habana this little reinforced wall right here. So I put a mute jammer on it to prevent that play in particular. Then we put one on the pillar doorway for E-Box, and the reason why we do that is because the main reasoning for it is because sometimes when people open up that meeting hatch, they're going to grim out immediately, so that mute jammer prevents that play in particular and makes it really hard for an enemy team to actually make a play where they want to drop the meeting hatch basically, or drop the meeting hatch with grims. Now, one thing that I like to do when I play this bomb site in particular is that I like to play for backstairs. And the reason why I like to play for backstairs is because it makes it a lot easier overall as long as your teammates can hold for bunker. Now, unfortunately, my teammates are not able to hold for bunker very efficiently here. So I'm going to have to rotate over to elbow here to retake the space for the shield. Right here, one of my teammates is giving me a call out. There's a Zofia on the left side of the right side of the bunker doorway, so I'm going to go ahead and get myself a free kill into that Zofia by wide swinging. And then what's actually going to end up happening here is that Deimos is actually going to end up tracking me here, but he's going to go ahead and cancel it right away. I'm not really sure what his idea was there, but this is actually going to open up a play for me to swing for laundry here. And the reason why is because I'm going to actually get audio that somebody's on my rotate hole, so I'm going to swing aggressively to get myself a free kill into him. And then the Deimos is going to go ahead and just walk in on me. Luckily, we have the shield, so we're going to be able to get a free kill into him as well because we're going to just line up the shots. Right here, the last guy is going to be Knock. He actually pushed in through laundry as well. And then unfortunately, my Legion's going to go ahead and get a little bit too aggressively here and sell his body, which now puts me into a 1v1 position. These type of positions, you kind of want to just play safe. I am close enough to the Knock in this position to hear him for plants here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait for him to start hitting a plant. And then what I'm going to basically be doing is every time where I'm in one of these 1v1s where the enemy player has to plant, I'm going to first fake the audio of me running towards them while they're planting to see if there's a potential way that they could just get off the plant, which is what I do right here. He's going to go ahead and get off of the plant right here, but then he's going to try to get back on the plant again. I'm going to go ahead and nitro the red ping, and then he's going to go ahead and swing aggressively for the hallway here. I'm going to crouch while I take the gunfight, so he's not going to be able to shoot me directly. Now, there is a world where he does kill me right here, but for whatever reason, he didn't shoot. I guess he was too perplexed over the fact that I crouched mid gunfight to be able to get the free kill into him. But we do end up securing the round right there. And the next clip here, we're going to be over on the kids bomb site this time on Oregon. And like I said, guys, we're going to be mostly focusing on making rotates. Now, honestly, for this kids rotate, I like to make a small little rotate hole on the far right of that wall. The main reason why you don't make it a big rotate hole is so you don't get angles opened up through big window to watch all the way into kids with a really nasty cross. That's the reason why you don't want to make a massive rotate hole there. And then we're going to go ahead and put one of our mute jammers on the attic doorway. We're going to put one on the trophy doorway. These are mostly just to deny drones. I'm going to put my last two mute jammers on the attic trophy wall. The reason why is because that wall in particular, if it gets opened up, it's going to be really bad for us overall, because they're going to be able to flood into attic. As well as the other reason why we put one on that wall is because it's going to prevent drones from going into trophy. And then I put one for this little like hop down for this like attic hallway right here. And the reason why I'm doing that is because the idea that I'm looking for is that if the enemy team tries to go for like a maverick play, or like they're pushing big tower in some type of way, the idea that I'm looking for is that if they walk up, or if they want a drone for attic, they're going to hit my mute jammer that's right below the little hop down right there, which is going to essentially allow me to rat in that corner inside of attic. The corner I'm talking about is the corner that I'm currently standing in right now. And so when they walk up without any drone intel on me, I'm going to be able to swing aggressively off of audio to get a free kill onto them. Now right here, this nitro cell that I'm going for is one of my signature favorite nitro cells in the game. It's going to basically be, I'm waiting for audio of the enemy players being inside a trophy, then I toss it over the top of the wall to get myself a free kill. And in this case, I ended up getting 2 people inside a trophy, which is fantastic. The last 2 in this position are on the master breach, and the other one's going to actually walk into the trophy here. My teammate's going to go ahead and yellow ping for me here, so I'm going to swing aggressively to get myself a free kill. And then in the frenzy to finish the clip, I'm going to swing again to kill the Zofia on the breach and secure the round right there. But anyway guys, hope you guys enjoyed. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace!